Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Nick from ForexNoobs.com with the daily analysis. Today is Tuesday the 30th of June 2020. Time is 4 PM here in the UK. You're looking at a GBP CAD chart. So let me organize all these. Actually, you know what? Let's alphabetize them. My charts are going to be quite messy, guys. Just warning you, I have a bunch of weird pairs on this list. They are here because I've been testing a few things. I've completely and totally reworked the entire currency strength indicator that I developed as part of the dashboard. And now it's way better. The old currency strength thing is here. It just has a simple ranking. The one I have now takes in a lot more factors to calculate currency strength. It will generate a score for each pair and rank them, and it will be released on Thursday or Friday this week. Not sure yet. Maybe earlier, who knows. But that's going to be a whole lot more in depth and a whole lot more useful to our trading. So look out for the currency strength tool that's coming up on the website. But yeah, because of the currency strength tool, I have a whole lot of weird pairs here that I was doing tests on, like JPY CAD and JPY Euro, which I need to get rid of real quick. GBP Euro. I'm sure there's going to be some left. Alright, I can't see anymore, but I'm sure there are some left. So let's get into the analysis. GBP New Zealand started to move down again, but it's still not going down. Just stalling out here again. It dropped a little bit lower, but not much. USD CAD. Yeah, not much here. US oil, just still holding on to this long, guys. Just going to hold on to this one for a while. Like I explained last week, this is a long-term trade. I'm looking to hold it for several weeks. It did pull down a little bit last week, but it looks like it's going back towards entry. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, a trade that you're going to have open for several weeks, you shouldn't really worry too much about these kind of slight moves down. It's not a big deal. Look at all these tight moves. It's crazy. Just gonna do some support resistance real quick on CADJPY. Makes sense. They all look decent. 4 is enough for now. We don't need any more than that. Oh, damn, I was on the... Oops. Sorry, guys. I was on the 6 hour just then. So I did support resistance areas based on the 6 hour, which they're actually not too bad. I'll just remove this one because it's not really that valid on the daily. This one still seems okay. The others seem okay. Yeah, so we'll remove that one and we'll leave these. Yeah, but back to the 6 hour. Actually looks like we're in a bit of a range here. Yeah. Yeah, we got a bit of a decent range going. So remember the rules for the range, or for ranges rather. We want to see a W, which is 2 bounces from the bottom. A bounce is when price drops down and bounces away. Drops down, bounces away. So 2 bounces equals a W. We've got a W. Then we need to look for an M. Or, well, you don't have to do it then. You can look for the M first. It doesn't matter. But we have the M. So the M is a bounce from the top. And a second bounce from the top makes an M. M and W. This, in fact, has a triple U. If you want to get technical, that is technically a bounce. So this has a triple U. Triple U. Why isn't an M called a double N? W, double N. Well, I guess because N's also written like that. And U's not written like this. So probably that's why. But my point is, we have a triple U and we're about to actually get potentially a triple M or a triple N or an M plus A. I don't know what I'm talking about. Point is, we're about to get a third bounce. Let's just call it a third bounce. That's so much better than a triple N or an N plus A. We have a triple bounce potentially happening right now on CADJPY. It's the third bounce in this range. Looks pretty solid. Stalling out on resistance. I don't see any reason not to take this. This is going right to the top of my list of potential setups. AUD CAD, I'm going to go back here for a sec just because I haven't unmarked these and I'll see if it's worth unmarking. It is worth unmarking. AUD, by unmarking, I mean, we don't see any setup, so I'm just going to take it off the list. AUD USD, yeah, moving sideways like crazy. It's not worth keeping an eye on. So CADJPY is at the top of the list right now. We're looking to trade the potential of a third bounce. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Euro AUD, what are you doing? Nothing off the list. Not worthy of staying on the list. Is Euro USD worthy? That is a good question that I've just asked myself. No. You could argue that it is in a range, and it is. It is in a range. It's not a great range, but it's in a range, nonetheless. Ranges don't have to be great. Sometimes they suck. It is turning around, but I just don't like it. There's a few things wrong. Previous attempt at turning around failed completely. This bottom line is not that accurate. It's bounced through it already. I just don't Don't like it. If you really want to, you can enter long here, but I'm not going to. Off the list. Not worthy. New Zealand JPY. Ooh. You are more than worthy of staying on the list. So, guys are probably going to get tired of hearing this, but we've got a W. I should use the blue tool. It stands out more on these red candles. W. So half of this range is confirmed because the first half of a range is the W or the M, but whichever one you use first. In this case, W. The M is confirmed. So those are the only two things we need in order to confirm a range. We need an M and a W. The M is 2 bounces from the top, and the W is 2 bounces from the bottom. So we got the W. We got the M. And this one's also kind of become a triple U. So there we go with the triple U again. It's hitting the top. Let's see if we can get a triple N. No, I'm going to go with triple bounce. Way better. I thought I'd try it out there again. Just try to throw it in, but no. Triple N just sounds crap. We're going to go for a triple bounce. Once it hits this resistance area, it's pushing up to it right now. There's no signs of it stalling yet, but that doesn't mean it won't stall. Let's see if it does. If it does stall, definitely potential for a short trade here. Let's keep a close eye on it. Would I trade the bounce on the green line? Yeah, because it's bouncing from, the range is on the green line. At least it was last time. So we'll see how it goes, if it stalls out on the green line or what. But definitely on the 1 hour or the 4 hour, I'm looking for a bounce from that green line. Nothing much on EURGBP, guys. Interesting here on New Zealand USD. Looks like the range is getting tighter, so it's around here now. Let's see what happens right now, actually. So this is, again, a range. It's not as clear as the other ones. We got the W. Yeah, this one is not a great range, but it is nonetheless a range. Just not great. And we got a pretty crappy M. The top bounce here is not great. It could stall out again here, this resistance area. It doesn't look very likely. Honestly, it looks like New Zealand JPY and New Zealand USD are probably just going to crash straight through here, but who knows? Who knows? If it stalls out here at the top, it's worth checking out for a potential long. All right, let's look for some other setups. I'm interested in a potential short on EURJPY from this resistance area here. It's pushing into it. I want to see it actually get into the resistance area. It's not there yet, so we can't really say whether or not it'll be a setup, but it's worth keeping an eye on. Quickly drop down to the 1 hour. Nah, don't like it. Euro New Zealand. When the market's not moving much and you get these tight ranges, you can start looking for these kinds of range setups. This is a very early on. So we've got the M that's just about formed, but we need the W. So we need a pullback from this support area. So let's keep an eye on it for a potential pullback. I'm going to mark this purple because it's not complete yet, but it's something worth keeping an eye on. GBP AUD, I've been asked a few times if I'm planning on going short here on a pullback. And yeah, technically it would be a viable trade if it pulls back to get in short for a continuation. I just don't like it. It feels like this isn't going to move down, but if you really want to, you could give it a shot. Just personally, I'm not that interested in it. See, when you look at your charts and you see something like this, that's what are you seeing there? What does that look like to you? Well, obviously, you know what I'm going to say. It looks like a W. So when you see that on the daily, dropping down to like the 4 hour or the 1 hour or the 6 hour, just a lower time frame in general, there's a decent chance that you're going to see a potential range forming. So this one isn't great because this bottom boundary is just not great, but it's not horrible either. So what have we got here? We've got the W, but not the M. W, not the M. So let's just wait for the M, see if it happens. Just like Euro New Zealand, we're just waiting for it to complete. Euro New Zealand is the opposite direction, but same concept. We're just waiting for it to become a completed range so we can trade it. So basically, we need it to hit the top, bounce away to the bottom, and as soon as it gets to the bottom again, we can enter long trades. And then from the bottom, if it reaches the top again, we can enter short trades from there. We just need the range to complete, which only happens when you've got both the M and the W. And in this case, we've only got the M. GBP/USD is stalling out and bouncing from here. It's a bit late to enter, but there was a viable long setup rather here on the 12 hour. Too late, so can't do much with it. See this here on New Zealand CHF? Doesn't really look like an M and W. Well, maybe it does. If you really use your imagination, you'll see that shape. And what does that shape tell us? Oh, sorry, this is the 12 hour, not the daily. Tells us if we drop down to the 1 hour, or maybe the 4 hour, either or, let's go with the 1 hour, a bit more spread out, that you'll see a potential range, which we are seeing on the 1 hour. Then we got the W. And do we have the M? Kind of, not exactly, kind of. This lower boundary is pretty wide. You could place it here, you could place it there. It's a pretty wide boundary. Like support resistance areas often are. It's a pretty wide boundary. So this lower see this line here, this support, it didn't quite get hit on its way back down. So we've got the W, but the M is a bit unclear. This would be the M. It's just not quite complete. It's like a poorly written M. that's not necessarily, that doesn't mean you can't enter a trade here. It just means it's going to be a whole lot riskier. New Zealand CHF is already a pair that I'm not crazy about, so I'm not sure if I am going to enter here. I highly doubt it. But you know how I do things. If I see a potential setup, even if I'm not interested in it, I'm going to point it out for you guys because maybe one of you is. USDCHF, this one's already in a range. More of a larger time frame range. So like 8 hour / 6 hour. It's a pretty bad range. But hey, it is approaching the bottom of it, so let's keep an eye on it for a potential long from the bottom of this range. Actually, that's not a completed range, but it is completing. If it hits the bottom, it will be a complete range. And USDJPY, nothing much on here. Well, that's it for the analysis, guys. Nothing much else to talk about. I need to get out of here. I don't have much time to stick around today, but just a quick summary, as we usually do. We got CADJPY, which is, we got a lot of ranges at the moment. CADJPY, which is hitting this resistance area right here. So on the 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, you know, whatever time frame you want really, other than the daily. So 12 hour, 8 hour, 6 hour, 12 hour, maybe even the 1 hour. You could potentially enter a short from this resistance area. New Zealand JPY, this is pushing up to resistance. If it does stall out here, there's definitely potential for a short, and very similar is New Zealand USD, although this one's almost already over in the sense that it's just not going to be a viable setup. It's just pushed too far up, so we can just take this one off the list. In fact, it is no longer viable. Eurjpy, I can't remember why I still have this one marked. I don't think it should be marked. I think I just left this one marked by mistake. Eurjpy hitting resistance, potential for a short from this resistance area. New Zealand CHF, this one's right down on the small time frames like the 1 hour. There's potential for a short from this resistance area right here. This is a range, but I'm just not personally that bothered with this one because the bottom of the range is very unclear. It's unclear whether the range has fully formed, and it's just not really a pair that I generally trade. And USDCHF back on like the 8 hour, 6 hour, so on. It's fast approaching the bottom of the range, so there's potential to go on long from the bottom of the range. And then we have some range setups that are not complete yet, but are getting very close to being complete. Euro New Zealand being one of them, and GBPJPY being the other. Yeah, that is it, guys. Are there any questions? Looks like there's only one question. Was there a setup on Eurjpy on the 8 hour? Because if you had your area there, then yeah. But I more had my area up here. I don't think this was a viable setup. Even if your area was here, you'd be completely ignoring the fact that price has bounced from lower twice recently. So you'd be completely ignoring this zone as being a potential support area. Maybe even minor support, but support nonetheless. And that this would happen, which is what's happening right now. So no, I wouldn't say that this is a viable setup. Alright, it doesn't look like there's any other questions, so I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys very much for attending. There's loads of potential setups, so keep a close eye on them, because range trades can happen quite quickly. It's not quite like trading the reversals and continuations on the daily charts, where you have a good 24 hours to enter a trade generally, or to be alerted to a potential trade. These can happen much faster, so it's worth keeping a closer eye on them, guys. So thank you very much for attending, and I'll see you for tomorrow's analysis, which should be, I'm not really sure the time, but I'll let you guys know at some time. Tonight, probably. I'll set a time. So thank you very much for attending, and I'll see you guys later.